Hi, and welcome to today's topic, which is about All Saints' Day. Today here in Sweden, it is All Saints' Day. I'm not really sure if that's correct translated, but it is remembering. Did I just disappear? I don't know. It is a day about remembering the saints, and it could be anything. It could be Lucia. It could be Saint Francis, Saint Clare, Jesus, whomever you want to think about. And I just want to talk a bit about why it is so important that we remember the ones who walked before us and that we still today remember on a day as this. The importance of remembering the saints is that they were examples of how much a human being could do with the help of faith and total surrendering to God. The miracles that we ourselves can do when we choose to surrender to something greater than ourselves, when we leave this worldly world behind and trust that there is more for us than what our worldly eyes can perceive. That is, I believe, so important to remember, that there are more to life than just what other people tells us, and the saints are examples of how far we can go when we really choose to surrender. Does that mean that we all should be Jesus or Francis or whatever? No, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that we remember them so we can do the best we can do in order to be the best version of ourselves. But that is not the same as we have the standards of a saint, or we should live up to anything as they have done. It is just that we strive to remember them and what they preached, so we ourselves can improve to be the best version of ourselves. That's what it is. And it is also important to remember that, for example, Jesus said that we all could do greater things than what he could do, and he was just performing some miracles, but not all of them. So it is important that we don't think less of ourselves also, that we actually dare to invite all of the light in. Many times we are not that afraid of darkness. We know the darkness. What scares us the most are the light. We are afraid of leaving what we know. We are afraid of leaving the darkness. Even though that we think and believe that it's better, it's still scary to leave what is known to us. And the saints, whomever we mention, if it's Buddha or whatever, they all left what they knew and trusted in the path that was for them, and that only they knew what was the steps to take in order to fulfill that path. And it is the same thing with us, whatever it is in our lives, that we have a voice inside of us, all of us, and only we know what that voice is. And it is important to not diminish that voice and think that someone knows what's best for us, because no one knows what God has placed in your heart. No one knows what your soul's mission is. It is not even ourselves know that many times. We only know that something is calling us. And if you start to walk that path, you will see that to follow that path, that voice that lives within you, is the voice of true happiness and the voice that brings most joy and love and fulfillment, not just in your own life, but to others as well. That is not the same thing as is everyone approve of you. Not at all. But it is a voice that I would say guarantee meaning, and guarantee that you will not regret your life. And I cannot see any greater or more important thing to do than to follow that voice. What else are there here to do? Like, it is our life, and it is our own responsibility to fulfill whatever that was. And even though that we will not be Jesus or St. Francis, then we will definitely, as I see it at least, I believe that we will leave a mark greater and of more love when we follow that voice than if we follow what other people expect of us or think of us. Yeah, it is the voice of God, and the saints are true human beings who walk this earth just as us, that chose that voice completely, and that endured so much suffering on the way, so much resistance on the way. And it was not an easy path, but it was a path of meaning. It was a path that still to this day lights the whole world, even after their death, because their purpose was beyond their flesh and blood. Their purpose was for a divine calling. And that is why we still today get inspired when we hear those stories, and those stories still lives on, and their examples, because we can take them to our own lives, because it is the same issues today, even though that is another time. So let's remember the saints today, as this day is dedicated to, at least here in Sweden, and remember them and honor them for what they did, but also the saint that is within you. And with that I mean the soul version of you, the soul part, God's voice. And remember to honor that too, and thank it for guiding you and always being there with you, knowing what step to take, and never ever give up on you. You know, it is a beautiful, beautiful voice that is God himself. So let's remember that today. Dedicate thoughts, dedicate our mind to that, and to pay attention to what that part of us tells us today. And if you want, you can also pray to some of the saints, meditate upon the saints, and ask if they have any message for you, because they are always there for us and willing to help us, no matter who or what we are. And yeah, okay, I love you, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye for now.